It's movie time here at Ramos Law again, and I'm Brian Calandra, an attorney here at the firm, and apparently now I'm getting the nickname The Movie Man. I don't know if that's going to stick or not, but we love doing these videos with you. Thank you so much for watching the ones that you have and commenting. Today, we are going to watch part of Fracture. I'm sure many of you have seen it. Great movie, and let's watch it together.
He confessed to shooting his wife.
He confessed.
Oh, there's Ryan Gosling. All the ladies seem to like Ryan Gosling. I know that my wife and daughter do, and that's probably why he ended up as Ken in that darn Barbie movie. And so, let's face it, I'd probably be a better lawyer if I was as good looking as that guy. Maybe not.
Now, did Mr. Crawford appear confused, intoxicated, or impaired in any way?
No, not at all. He knew exactly what was going on.
And there he is. Anthony Hopkins is one of my favorite actors. He's just fantastic. Isn't in bad movies because his presence just makes a movie good. Doesn't matter what it is. And this one, I'm sure you guys remember this one. It's kind of a murder thing. Let's see how Ryan Gosling handles it in court.
Did Mr. Crawford say?
He said, it was like I just suddenly snapped. I got the gun, and I shot my wife. I shot her in the head.
Objection.
I'm sorry, Mr. Crawford. Did you say something?
Yes, I wish to object.
On what grounds?
I don't know.
All right, so Anthony Hopkins, he shot his wife, shouldn't do that, and he is defending himself. He's not an attorney, so that's called pro se or improper, where you have that right, we have the constitutional right to defend ourselves if we want to. But here's the thing, you still got to know the rules and follow the rules. Now, a judge will give you a little bit of leeway, but at the end of the day, if you're in a courtroom and you're behaving as an attorney, you have to follow the rules of law, the rules of evidence. And so some judges are going to let you get away with more than others, but this guy's on trial for murder, and so now he's objecting, doesn't really have a legal basis, and now he's going to ramble on about it. Let's see how the objection goes, and more importantly, let's see how the judge rules on that objection.
Your Honor.
I don't know what you'd call it, but it wasn't the first time it happened either, but I don't know the legal terminology.
Well, why don't you try and explain it in layman's terms?
The victim.
You're not allowed to swear in court. There are ways to get away with it, you know, if you're repeating something that someone has said or something like that. And in fact, one of our attorneys that won a major trial recently was able to say the F word several times in his closing argument because, guess what? The defendant had made that exact same statement. So it was kind of something we talked about here in the office, which we thought was kind of neat. But anyway, you don't do that in a courtroom. There's a certain decorum, a certain formality. I don't think the judge is going to be happy about that, but let's see what she says.
You said layman's terms.
Your Honor.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but what would you call it legally when the officer who arrested you was having sexual intercourse with your wife? You know, I think it's objectionable. It's rather disgusting, what I think, but I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Rob.
So you can tell from the music and the reactions, right? Prosecutor Ryan Gosling didn't know the investigating officer was having sex with defendant's wife. You want to know that sort of thing before you walk into a trial. Right? There's nothing worse for us as attorneys than something happening, something coming out that we didn't know about. That's a no-no. And maybe poor investigative work here, but it goes to the bias of the witness, obviously, right? And so just all kinds of bad things and might lead to an acquittal there for Anthony Hopkins. He just swore too. That's exactly what I would have said. I said, oh, And now he's going to run over there and tackle Anthony Hopkins. Pandemonium in the courtroom.
Bailiffs, please. You're in recess.
It's a young Ryan Gosling, that's for sure. Little stare off.
He had my witness list and he should have filed to suppress.
My mistake, I'm sorry.
Mr. Crawford, you were warned. You don't get to use that as an excuse to play games.
Well, what about the fact that it's true? I mean, isn't that the point here, to get to the truth?
Mr. Beecham, is it true?
I have no idea, Your Honor. I just heard about it 5 minutes ago.
Put him back on the witness stand if you don't believe me.
This is getting out of hand, Your Honor. Now, he just provoked my witness with an outrageous allegation.
My dick has evidence.
Excuse me.
My Dick, my private investigator, I call him Dick.
You gotta love Anthony Hopkins, his sarcasm there. And, you know, he knows what he's doing. He might not be a lawyer, but you can tell he's manipulating this situation. He knew what he was doing. He's trying to get the jury to see things his way. And Ryan Gosling, you can tell by looking at his face, he's losing. And he's pissed off because he wants to put a murderer behind bars. And so now they're going to have this conversation about whether or not this cop goes back on the stand, and he probably should.
Because since the tragedy, he's dug up hotel records and witnesses that confirm that my wife and Mr. Nunnally were having an affair. My Dick is good.
Your Honor. So what if he was?
Beecham,
Even if he was.
your witness was intimate with the victim and assaulted the defendant during the arrest.
Actually, while trying to obtain my so-called confession. Yes.
Oh, come on.
Is that a legal argument? Oh, come on.
Don't make me come across this table, because I will.
I just wouldn't.
Your Honor.
You don't threaten, the defendant as a prosecutor. That's not something that you do. And so now he's talking about this confession that he made, and what he's getting at, folks, is whether or not he was coerced, right? Was he intimidated by this cop who was sleeping with his wife to give a confession? And if that's true, that confession isn't going to be admissible. It's going to be tossed out for sure.
He dictated and signed his confession at the station long after the incident, all right?
In fear for my life, since my wife's lover, who'd just beaten me, was in the room with his friends and the other officers.
Was Detective Nunnally present during Mr. Crawford's interrogation?
He may have been, I don't know.
Because if that is indeed the case, the confessions, both of them, are out.
Yeah, you see, just like I said, right? You can't coerce or intimidate a criminal defendant into a confession, right? Even if it's true, even if he did kill her and he's confessing. We have rules, right? We have the Constitution, Bill of Rights, Fourth Amendment, all those types of things, Fourth and Fifth Amendment, actually, and to protect people and their rights, right? And so some people don't like that. Some people don't like these procedural safeguards, but you know what? They're there for a reason. They're there because sometimes the police don't play by the rules. Sometimes innocent people are arrested. Sometimes innocent people are convicted. Sometimes innocent people end up on death row. The constitutional protections that we have in this country are some of the best on planet Earth, and they're there for really good reasons, and even though sometimes people don't like them.
If Nunnally was there, Mr. Crawford was under duress. The confessions and any evidence gathered while Mr. Nunnally was present will all have to be excluded as fruit of the poisonous tree.
Yeah, that's that phrase, right? Fruit of the poisonous tree. So if the cops break the rules when they're investigating and they're looking for evidence, anything they find as a result of breaking that rule, that's the buzzword. It's fruit of the poisonous tree. It means it doesn't come in. The argument that you can make, though, is that there was an inevitable discovery of that evidence. And if you can show if that evidence would have been discovered inevitably, you can try to get it in that way. This gets into some pretty complex constitutional law stuff. But bottom line is, if you can show a constitutional violation, the evidence gathered from that violation is never coming in. So it's just a warning to the police and the investigating folks. Do it the right way, or you're going to screw up your case.
This is insane.
That's the Bible, isn't it? The fruit of the tree and all that. It's Matthew. Or is it Mark?
He set all this up.
Yeah, he did.
This is a setup.
I'm sorry, Mr. Beecham, but I am not going to allow coerced confessions in my courtroom.
Your Honor, do you think I could go home now with Thanksgiving around the corner?
Unbelievable.
Don't push it, Mr. Crawford. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give Mr. Beecham a few days to come up with some new evidence, and if you can't, then maybe you can go home. So we will reconvene on Monday morning. I think that's all.
Thank you, Your Honor. Well,
So great scene, right? Who doesn't love Anthony Hopkins? If you don't, I'd love to hear your feedback as to why. I think he's great. And so, go see the movie if you want to know how it turns out. Thank you so much for watching with us today. Go ahead and click like and find and subscribe and all of those types of things that people know better than me about, because we want to do more of these videos. We want to hear more about the movies you want to see. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.